you don't make real lasagna in the microwave. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right,
You
right,
make it
right.
in the oven. But for me, I'll put it in the microwave just to get that instant gratification. I'm still eating lasagna.
Lasagna, right,
You know
right,
what I mean? But it's
right.
not as good if I'd actually put that little bit of effort in and wait that little bit of time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Hello, everybody. My name is Rashad B. I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Tales from the Real World podcast. Joining me also my producer, right hand, Brian Dreamer. And also we have a special guest today, uh, brother of mine, Kenny Ward. Um, Very special guy, you know what I mean? For real. Kenny like one of them guys, even him being humble in the room, he stick out, something about him. And today I have this topic, sacrifice. And, what made me hold on to it for Kenny, um, because I see how he sacrifices time, with the commitment he have with Bowling Green, doing the meetings and stuff. And also he sacrifices time, with his sponsees. And not just that, before he even took on them commitments, sacrifices time, for the fellows, the brothers, anyone that need him. He also did tattoos for me, you know what I mean? Like, without a doubt, if I need him, he there, anything. With that, welcome Kenny.
What's up, family? I'm Kenny.
What up, Kenny?
What's good? Thank you for having me today, guys.
Pleasure, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, I can go on with sacrifice for a while. I know it's the one thing I do like. You know what I mean? It's not like a big sacrifice for me. I like giving back now. You know what I mean? Because I actually have something to give. For a long time, I was very selfish and I took a lot of things for granted. You know what I mean? And yeah, we can say with sacrifice, though, man. Like during my addiction or during the things that like I was doing in my life, I made a lot of sacrifices, like spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to myself. You know what I mean? I hurt a lot of people during them times, and even getting clean. You know what I mean? Like I made a lot of sacrifices with the things that were like family wise. You know what I mean? I'm not there for my son like every day. I missed a lot of portions of his life being out here trying to focus on myself. I am a little farther away from him being out here in this recovery thing, but I'm doing a lot better. So like I get to see him, but not as much as I really want to. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Um, with my family and that, my family's still back in Pittsburgh. I have a lot of people out there that like, you know what I mean? They see me doing well now, but they don't see me in person. You know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
get to see like the little bits and pieces of me. Um, and that's a sacrifice, you know what I mean? But for today, like I can actually show up, you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
can actually be there in like a positive way. Um, yeah, I guess like whenever whenever I'm in my addiction, that man, like I don't care who I hurt. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a sacrifice to myself. Like that what would you consider that? Like your self worth? You know what I mean? Or
Right,
like your
right, right.
pride? Yeah, like
Yeah.
shit like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I have none of that. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like that
Mm-hmm.
shit goes out the window with me. Um, I don't have really no morals. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing that goes along with that stuff, and it doesn't matter what I have to sacrifice. It's gone.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't lose it. I don't lose it at all. I give that shit away.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
without a problem, I give it away and don't even think twice about it. Um, Today, though, you know what I mean? I do have commitments. I speak at a rehab every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It was a rehab I got clean at for the longest time, man. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to speak somewhere. I wanted to give, like, a message of hope. You know what I mean? Because, like, whenever I went into rehabs or other places like that, like, I've been to a lot of facilities. You know what I mean? I really
Mm-hmm.
have. Like, I grew up pretty much in a facility of some sort. You know what I mean? Or in jail. I've lived with a lot of my friends or just homeless. You know what I mean? I've been
Yeah.
in a lot of homeless shelters. Like a lot of that stuff was all sacrificed to me, but I brought it upon myself. Um, but whenever I'd go into them places, like I couldn't relate to the speakers. You know what I mean? I couldn't relate to the people that had multiple years clean. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, the type of addict that I am, like I could never obtain more than 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
even a couple days, you know, and like no matter what I was doing or where I was at, I always had to be doing something. You know what I mean? If I'm in a rehab or a place like that, like I'm taking Suboxone or methadone or you know what I mean? Like I would be around NA or AA. I would never really be involved in it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Um, so like to touch back on that, like whenever I go in there and to do my commitments with speaking or doing my sponsor with other guys and stuff like that, like I can relate to them more than anything because I know that feeling of like just being a part of something or having somebody that can like relate to like I can't get this. You know
Right,
what I mean? I've
right.
never in my lifetime thought I can actually get clean. I've lost a lot of people in this struggles. I've lost a lot of family members in this struggle. You know what I mean? And like I said, I
Mhm.
hurt a lot of people while doing this. Um, Today I can honestly say though, like I have joy whenever I do that. I have been through all 12 steps. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
currently making amends and trying my best to live in 10, 11, and 12. But like the aha moment that I
Yeah.
got, that like pink cloud that they talk about during this process, is like whenever I see someone struggling, because I know
Yeah.
what that feeling's like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I know that like that pain that they're feeling right there. Like
Mhm.
I can relate to that more than anything. I guess that my turning point to like the big sacrifice I had, because like whenever I was in my addiction, that I didn't look at it as like a sacrifice. I didn't have shit. You know what
Right,
I
right,
mean? So
right,
I
right,
didn't really care about nothing.
right,
I had a
right.
lot of people that cared about me more than I
Mhm.
cared about myself. I didn't care about living or dying. Overdoses never scared me. Jail never scared me. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I brought myself into that own pain. I got comfortable inside my own pain and inside my own misery. And I wanted people to view me how I viewed myself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I wanted people to see me for like what I thought I was or like
Mhm.
what I thought I became. You know what I mean? So looking back at it now, like, um, yeah, I take a lot of pride in that now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I can give
Mhm.
somebody else that hope of like they don't have to go through the same struggles or I can meet them right where they're at. You know? Like I was saying though, like whenever I really like seen the sacrifice or seen the change where I was at is like I don't know if you could relate to this or not, but I didn't have nowhere to go. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
right,
at
right.
my lowest point in my life at the moment. Um, you ain't turn off your phone,
Excuse
I
me. My
see.
fault. My fault. Go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
okay. We can get through this.
Mhm.
But I guess like the lowest point that I like actually had me really thinking about where my life was at in these moments. Because before, like I can portray it however I want it to be. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You'll see me and I'll have a smile on my face or I can make it through that day, but you won't see what I had to do to get where I was at that day.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like you'll
Behind the
just,
scenes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because whenever you see me out on the streets or something like that, I might have a couple dollars in my pocket or I might have a, you know what I mean, some decent stuff. But you won't realize like I just had to steal this off of my significant other to
Right,
get them
right,
couple dollars. She's out following me around making sure I'm not dead.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
She's
right.
like, or trying to sell food stamps or buy food stamps and flip it to this guy just to make ends meet. But meanwhile, you see me out on the streets or something like that, and I got a smile on my face because that's all I did was wear a mask.
Mhm.
Um, I've overdosed a couple times, and every time, like you know that feeling you get inside yourself. I don't know if you've ever been there, but like I remember being in places and them not wanting me there, but me not having nowhere else to go, or like being so hungry at some place, but I was just
I
grateful I had a
relate.
place to
Yeah,
stay.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Having like nowhere else to go, but having a place to stay that night. But I'm so hungry, but I can't open up that fridge because it's not my house, and I just needed a place just to rest my head.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean? I
Mhm.
don't have nowhere else to go. I can get in a shower in some place like that. So like with whenever I overdosed on the mother of my child, her mom's floor, and she looked at me like, "Yo, this is what you want to be. Like, this is who you're choosing to be with in life." And like that feeling I had inside of me whenever it was like, we don't want him here, but I didn't have nowhere else to
Go.
go. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, um, my own family was like, "Listen, you can't come back here." You know what I mean? I've done them so wrong that I didn't have like that mommy daddy money or like the oh here you can come back. I didn't have nowhere else. They're like,
Mhm.
"Look, go to jail." You know what I
Right,
mean? My
right.
mom used to tell me like she feels better whenever I'm in a cell. At least
Yeah,
she knows she's not going to get that call that I killed someone or I ended up dying somewhere or
mhm.
I'm harming someone else, because that's what
Right.
I was, bro. I'm a mess. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Out there, like I have no, like I said, I have no morals. I don't care what happens to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And half the time I'm in places that I shouldn't be at. I don't belong. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right, right.
But my animalistic living took me to that place where I become comfortable in it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It became like a part of me or who I was, and that
Mhm.
defines like that survival skill. Been doing this shit for so long, nothing changes.
Right,
You know what
right,
I
right,
mean?
right, bro.
I can connive myself into just making it through one more. I got to do is just make it through the day. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We'll worry about tomorrow if I make it there. And
Right,
half the time I've already accepted in myself that like I don't care if I make it or not. You
right,
know what I
yo,
mean?
yo.
So today, like back on the recovery aspect of it, like I'm grateful where I'm at today. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like it hasn't always been like this. And I'm not perfect right now. You know what I mean? I
right,
still have
right.
a lot of stuff that I have to work on internally.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like coming into the rooms or coming into recovery, like they say take suggestions. I wasn't suggested to come to a rehab. I didn't have nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? I'll
Hmm.
go wherever you send me because I have nothing else looking back on.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? No one else wanted me. It
Hmm.
was like a fresh start. Now, whenever I come into it, now whenever I'm here and I'm here for a little bit and I get a couple of things, I forget about what brought me in here. Or like I want to take over like my thinking again. You know what I mean? Like here I'm doing
Would
good
you
now.
say
I
you
got this.
sacrifice? You say you forget, you sacrifice that pain,
Yeah.
forgetting that pain.
Yep. Yeah, that's where it comes from though, is like that sacrifice of like what it really was like and what I went through to get to where I'm at today
Right,
is the
right,
sacrifices. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like
right, right.
sacrificing my time, other rehabs
Hmm.
time, the state's facilities things because like I come from state insurance. I don't have like the RCA money. I don't have like the things that like other people are blessed with. I'm not saying it doesn't help and I'm not saying I know me personally, I'm not gonna make it. You put me in some nice, you know what I mean, place like I'm not listen, I get comfortable there. You know what I mean? Give me a
Yeah.
TV in a you know what I mean, in my room and give me the food that I want to pick or you know what I mean, make it all cushy and cozy for me. I'm not, you know what I mean? Why would I want to leave? Like sometimes I'm grateful for them struggles that I did have or them sacrifices that I did have. You know what I mean? And it took me a long time to get like to that point, I guess, because like whenever I tell you my life wasn't great by any means. It wasn't horrible though.
Right. I
You
can
know what I
relate
mean?
relate on that,
Yeah,
bro.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like I maintained. Like and I do pretty good at maintaining. I didn't get clean because I was a bad drug addict. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I can get high every day in my life. I know I can. It's the consequences that come after that. It's how people view me after that. You know what I mean? Because like me getting high, like I made that sacrifice already. This is who I am. This is what I'm about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I don't half-ass it. I'm going all the way with it. You know what I mean? I don't like do a little bit of something. You know what I
All in
mean?
a nut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I'm that type of guy. Like here,
yeah.
if we're doing this, we're doing it. And
Yeah.
like I'm not saying gonna sit here and say I haven't done it before in the past, but after a couple of times of like messing up in recovery houses, you guys blow my high. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to come
yeah.
back here and hear about NA and AA or you know what I mean? Because once your drug is cut with a little NA or a little AA, like bro, it doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? It puts a little different spin on things once you
Hmm.
get a taste of this lifestyle. So once I get high, bro, I'm keep everything here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Keep everything that I've accomplished here. I'm ready to sacrifice all of it to go back to what I know. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? What
Hmm.
I'm comfortable with, and that's that chaos and that misery and that pain that like I bring on myself.
Right.
But then I'll blame it on other people. You know what I mean? I want to push
Hmm.
the blame. Oh well, they did this to me, they did that to me, and that's why like there I got sacrificed into this. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Because George was getting high with Henry and he had drugs. So you know what I mean? I want to push the blame on them. Let alone I shouldn't have been with John or Henry or anybody. You know what I
From
mean?
the yeah, from the
From the
start.
beginning,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Like I got to look at the parts that I play in this because
Hmm.
like what is a sacrifice? Whenever you really think about it, what's a sacrifice? Something that you're giving up.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean? So you gave up. Like I give it up myself. Here, take it. You know what I mean? And that's where like my thought process comes down to. So how you were saying whenever you started off, like my sacrifice with like the rehabs or like with my sponsees, listen, I want to give them that time. I'll sacrifice that every day of the week. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I want to show up because like today I try not to like talk a certain way. I want to see my actions follow up with it.
Hmm.
Am I perfect? By no means, no. You know what I mean? There's
Mm-hmm.
still things that I struggle with today more than anything. We were sharing about it in the meeting tonight. Like I've been in a recovery house for pretty long now. You know what I mean? I've
Mm-hmm.
almost been out this way for like a year and a half. You know what I mean? I still have the same fines. I still have the same problems with my license. I still have the same, you know what I mean? The same like things I should have been working on. But like I said, I get comfortable. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I try not to change nothing. If it's working, why fix it?
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean? If
right.
it's not
If it ain't
broken,
broke,
I'm
don't
not.
fix it.
Yeah,
Right,
don't fix
right,
it.
right,
Exactly.
right.
And that's what I do. I become complacent in them things. So like I feel like Bridgeway though is like a part of me that like I have a purpose here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, in one time in my life, I have a purpose that people like are proud of me for where I'm at. I have a purpose of like where I have a room. I
Yeah,
pay rent for, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I have a job that I can show up to all the time. I have people that look up to me finally.
That
You
count
know,
on you. You
yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
count,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
it's not like a sacrifice for me no more. It's like a reward, we'll
Right,
say. You know
right.
what I mean?
Reason why I say sacrifice is not to cut you off.
No.
I like to use this three letters net or NET net, no extra time. You
Mm,
know, especially we can be selfish. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Especially we like you know what I mean with that. That's why I gotta bring it to your attention. And I was telling you know what I mean, Dreamer. I respect that. You know how you sacrifice your time. You burn, get up, someone call, we in red, and you know what I mean. You ain't tell me that. Just we know the same people. You know what I mean
Mm-hmm.
in the circle. Oh, Kenny and them came out here. I admire that. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
sacrifice your time and you're doing it in a positive way. You know, good
Yeah.
cause. Like you know what I mean? To save someone's life. I'm
Yeah.
quite sure you can relate with me. We sacrifice our kids' relationship. We sacrifice all that. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
we was doing wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but now you sacrifice that time in a positive, good way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I like what I shared today too. Like with me, I like instant gratification. I
Yeah,
like things that for right now. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I want it right now in the order that I want it. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So like that's what I don't remember exactly what it thing was on, but I brought up like sacrifice. Like what it comes down to would be sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I like not overanalyze it, but like I want things in my way or the thing like how I want it. So, for an example, you don't make real lasagna in a microwave. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right,
You
right,
make it
right.
in the oven. But for me, I'll put it in the microwave just to get that instant gratification. I'm still eating lasagna.
Lasagna, right,
You know
right,
what I mean? But it's
right.
not as good if I would actually put that little bit of effort in and wait that little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like with me, you gotta sacrifice some things to get to the bigger rewards.
Right,
And
right,
that's where I
right.
struggle with now is I don't want to sacrifice nothing. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
became content and like stagnant in what I'm doing in today's life right now. I'm
Yeah,
happy with where I'm at. Can I be here forever though? No. You
right,
know what I
right,
mean? There's some
right,
things like instead of buying new shoes and all this new nice shit, like I should be putting money back to get out of Bridgeway. I
right.
should be saving up money to pay on my fines, to pay something, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
to actually get my life in order. But instead of that, I'd rather buy a couple nice things so people can look at me like, oh, he's really doing something. You know what I mean?
I
And
got you,
that's why
bro.
I like giving back to the new guys because like it's not just words with me, it's actions. I can help somebody else like guide them. Listen, I know how to take some shit away and actually start doing the work, but I don't know how to follow through with all the actions that come along with it.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I'm with you.
Like I'm in my son's life as like I'll send the mother of my child, I'll send her money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's my hey man, I'm doing something. I'm doing my part. But do like I FaceTime him whenever I can. You know what I mean? I'm in good communication with her and stuff like that. But like I'll find ways to like make time for myself or my friends, but I don't make time to like, hey man, can I go out and see my son today? I
right.
know he's in a good spot. I know he's taken care of. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So for me, like I do my part as in like just helping her out financially. Bro, money's nothing. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right, right, right.
Anybody can that works and is doing well, you obtain some things now. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Right, right.
But like the time that I spend with him, that's what I miss out on. And that's a sacrifice and it sucks. But I know today, like if I would leave out of here, if I start spending like the time I want to around that area and away from this,
Yeah,
as soon as I leave this area, bro, my thinking goes right back to where it was at. You know
yo,
what I mean?
yo.
My thinking and that stuff, because I'm not working on the changes I should be. I'm sacrificing my time for some negative things. And it's not negative as like, oh, you're messing up or you're doing all these wrong things. I'm focused on myself and I am staying clean. I'm starting to build some things, but I could put a lot more effort into what I'm really doing here. You know
Right.
what I
Okay.
mean?
I'm with you.
Like, does
I
that
got
make,
you. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm with you, bro.
you know what I mean? And that's a lot of people like, I feel like my first year of recovery, like you just got to focus on yourself and have fun and be adapted to this lifestyle. I'll get like my last time I just had 6 months, I ended up relapsing. So now here I just restart. So
Yeah.
I just wasted, sacrificed 6 months of my time just doing what Kenny wanted for what? For nothing. That's
Right.
not time I can't get back now.
Right.
You
Right.
know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Now
Right.
I come back and now I've been here for like coming up on 10 months. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Congratulations,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you. And that's a big, like before, I couldn't do it for more than a day, 2 days. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? By myself, or I go into a rehab and I'm staying for detox and I'm leaving, or I'll stay, get through the final program of it, and then I gotta go reward myself.
Yeah.
And then I take away like longer time and longer time and longer time. And it's just been that revolving door over and over. I'll
Yeah.
catch a case, I gotta go back to jail, you know what I mean? Then it's
Yeah.
this place and it's that place. It's always been something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now I'm doing well now. What's the next phase of this? Like, what's the next sacrifice that I should be doing to actually obtain some of the things that I want to? And there has to be more out of life than just like getting a house and getting
Yeah.
your car. Bro, those are normal fucking things. Those
Right.
are
Right.
normal things that normal
Right.
human
Right.
life
Right.
people
Right.
do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What's the next development that I want to go through? And those are the things I don't really think about. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like spirituality or like goals I have, aspirations. I can't tell you what I really like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like what you like about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where I come down and I'll sacrifice whatever just to see how other people view me. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Cuz I'm like
Hmm.
not a I'm a people pleaser. I want everybody to like me for who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For this outside
I
person that
like
I
that. I like
yeah,
what you like about me.
you know
I
what I
like how
mean?
you word that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. So, and if that means sacrificing the time away from like the money, all the money I made at my job for that week, instead of
Hmm.
putting some of the money back, here I'll do this. I can do that. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like post on Facebook about like all these lovely things I do and you know what I mean, all these
Hmm.
great quotes and shit like that. But like whenever it comes down to it, like, well, how do I feel whenever I'm laying in my bed? What am I really sacrificing all this extra time for? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
don't know. Like that's a lot of people. Oh, I'm gonna stay clean forever. I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
have that answer because I'm not familiar with like never using again. Do I feel better now? Yeah. You know what I mean? I love it. Like that was the whole thing too. Whenever I first got into recovery, I was like, listen, if my life doesn't change in a year, the streets aren't going nowhere. You know what I
I can
mean?
always like
Yeah,
it can
that shit
always
can
go. Yeah.
always go right back there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, man, I manifest that shit in my mind like my life wasn't that bad using. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Like it wasn't horrible whenever I was
Justify.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
justify like I or my brain will only let me think about the good times. Like
Hmm.
it won't let me think about the times whenever I didn't have nothing. The you know what I mean? This person's leaving me and no one wants me around. All
Hmm.
that pain. My mind only tells me about the good times. So now whenever I'm thinking about like messing up or sacrificing my recovery or what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now, you know what I mean? Like I gotta
Yeah.
play that tape the whole way through or remind myself like where this shit actually takes me
Right.
to.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I
Play it
mean?
all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like that self internal shit that I actually have going on instead of like putting a smile out for everybody or having people think what you know what I mean? How I want them to view me as like this happy dude and everything else. Bro, I got fucked up feelings on the inside of me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
times where like I wanted to sacrifice my own life for my you know what I mean? Because I didn't think I was important to another person or
Hmm.
like no one I didn't feel like I had a purpose in this life. You know what I mean? And that's what like today I can actually like say like I don't have the same thoughts as I did. You know what I mean? And I have like a little bit of a purpose today. That's because of the sacrifices of like being away from the ones that do care about me. They
Yeah.
do. I know they care about me and
Yeah.
they love me a lot. I know that. But it hurts me sometimes. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
they co-sign me messing up. They're not good in like if I'm using, if I'm clean, whatever, they're still gonna be there. And I can't
Hmm.
have that in my life. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
If
right.
I mess up, I need people to sacrifice. Listen,
To
bro,
hold you
that's
accountable.
yeah, to hold
Yeah.
me accountable on that
Yo.
stuff. And that's I'm afraid like that's what Bridgeway, you know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for the drug tests or the people's lives that I've impacted since I've been here, I don't know if I'd still stay out here. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right, right,
Like
right.
it's cool. I like, but it's not like my, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
right,
my environment. This
right,
isn't
right,
where
right.
like my comfortability comes from. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean that's really what it comes down to for me is like it's not really a sacrifice anymore. I'm trying to find like that new way of living. And believe me, it's not easy. You know what I mean? I still
mm-hmm.
think of some things like my money will get, you know what I mean? Like funny. And I'm like, oh, well, I can just go do this and make, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like for me, my drug addiction is very small portion of, or yeah, my drug use is a very small portion of my addiction, me personally. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because
yeah,
there's things that I sacrifice today sober that like instead of saving up all this money is I want to go get shoes or I'll go, you know what I mean? I'll have $200 in my pocket and I'll spend 100 of it on FanDuel. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
there's things that like I mess up sober. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
And I
right,
know it's a mess up, but I
right.
do it anyways because that's my little like fuck you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not cured yet. You
Right,
know what I
right, right,
mean?
right, right, right,
Yeah, like I still got work to do. So who, you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And that's the things like I try to work on because like I remember whenever I'm in my addiction or I'm messing up, like I talk to that fucking thing inside of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'll be like, wake up, I'm sick, I'm trying to figure out a way. I'll get a couple dollars and I'm like, listen, man, I got the money for you today. We're gonna go feed you now. You know what I mean? And then whenever I'm pushing that shit inside of me, I'll talk to it like, oh, you know what I mean? Here,
yeah,
buddy, how does this feel? You know what I mean? I told you I'd get you better now. And now today, like I gotta talk to them. Yeah, bro, you're not winning today. You know what I mean? And that's that battle inside
yeah,
of me because like I do better whenever it's like in a form of something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'm better at it if I can like physically do like physically see it and touch it and feel it because like I understand you can't like touch love, but you can feel it. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like
right,
there's things
right.
that like I don't have the explanation for, but like I do better whenever one someone doubts me or two I can physically like put my mind around it. You know what I mean? So like today I have to be like, yo, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like talk to that motherfucker like he's somebody. You know what I mean? Like you're not overpowering me. You know what I mean? I'm an alpha. You know what I mean? I'm a
Right,
dude that's gonna overcome this.
right,
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be like another statistic or like how people view me. Oh, I told you he's just gonna be a drug addict forever.
right,
You know
right.
what
That
I mean?
stigma. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Or like I don't want my mom sacrificing like thinking like, oh well, everyone was right about him. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what like the a lot of joy I get now. Like it sucks not being able to go home and see my family as much as you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like bro, they're getting older. They're not gonna be here forever. But I know whenever my mom does, you know what I mean, or like things do happen of that, she's gonna look back at this and be like, yo, I'm proud of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
and
he's
yeah,
somebody. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
I didn't just create this human just for him to destroy his own life today.
yeah.
Like he's gonna help someone else out. You know what I mean? So if that takes away from like the sacrifice of like me giving my a little bit of my time because I took so much from so many people and I didn't care who you was. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
I didn't
right.
care who you was or how bad I hurt you. I didn't care. Like I didn't feel that shit on the inside. I was like so emotionless and so painless to all that stuff. But like today it makes me feel good that like I can give someone else that little bit of hope. You know what I mean? Or like I
Mm-hmm.
can give back instead of being like a taker all the time.
Right,
I
right,
can
right.
actually sacrifice something. Now, am I saying like I'm willing to go meet you out in Baltimore or go meet you out in nah, bro, you got to meet me somewhere. But
Right,
I know
right,
you're
right.
not going to catch me in them same places. But if you do catch me around or you do need me, you know what I mean? I'm showing up. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
There's a lot
right.
of the times where like people count on me and I would tell them, yep, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there. As soon as that time comes, I'm nowhere to be
You know,
found.
I can relate. Word
Yeah,
was never bond. You know what I
no,
mean?
no,
I wasn't a man of my word. Like, you
no.
know what I mean? Yeah.
But that's today I can actually say like whenever I say something I try my best to follow through and
Stand on it.
yeah whenever I
Yeah.
make a commitment to somebody or if I have a commitment to someone else
Mm-hmm.
excuse me whenever I make a commitment to someone else I usually stand by it you know what I mean and like
Yeah.
sponsoring's hard like I don't know what I'm doing in life I don't know this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't have these answers, and I'm afraid to guide someone in the wrong way because all I know is like that pain and destruction. And I'm not saying I'm like untouchable or nothing like that, or like I'm like better off than someone else. But a lot of people are not gonna live the same way I lived and still come
And
out.
still come what?
You
You
know
know what I
what I
mean?
mean?
You here
Yeah,
for a reason.
yeah,
Like, yo, I could relate on that, bro. Like,
yeah.
not cutting you off. Go ahead. I want you to keep running.
Good.
No, no, just to come out of what we, you know what I mean? We used to talk a little bit, just to come out of that,
Yeah.
like you said, and be able to come back
Yeah.
and get us. Like, no, go ahead. 'Cause I want you to go ahead, bro. Back on that.
Like, there's not too many people that you take them from one environment and take them to a place, okay? And you have the clothes that are on your back,
Mhm.
shoes are on your feet. That's it. Now start a life.
Yo,
Start a life. No help from nobody. You don't have no phone. You have no
yo,
connections. You have nobody you can reach out to. Start over and let's see where you make it.
Even a baby has more.
yo,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yo.
Listen, I've done it countless times. From Pittsburgh to Baltimore, now out to Philly. You know what
Yo,
I mean?
yeah.
I've been to Erie, to snow houses out there. I've been to literally countless rehabs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cove Forge, White Bear Run, Greenbrier, um, Bowling Green, Bridge. Like the list just goes on and on. Second Chance. You know what I mean? Like I've been to so many different places, but like I'll restart. I'll get my life together, and I feel this inside of me, like, bro, you're not worth this. You know what I mean? And I'll sacrifice all of it. Like I'll
Yo.
get to a certain point where like things are starting to go good. I just say fuck it. You know what I mean? I give
Mm-hmm.
up because I didn't feel like I had a part to do in it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like, nah, bro, this isn't who you are. You're a fucking drug addict. You know what I mean? Like
Yo.
that I remember being in a cell and like walking past my cell door and that looking out there and people looking into me and being like, bro, look at that, he's a nut. You know what I mean? Or like whenever you get into a fight or something like that, you know what I mean? They put you in that glass thing and like people are looking at you and then they'll look away. I got that like I had empowerment over something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like I was like a lion or something inside of there. You know what I mean?
Yo.
I felt like I had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds dumb, like or like unrational. Like I
No, I
felt
get
like I
what you
was
mean.
somebody.
Yeah,
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 you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like because it was whenever it comes down to it, I'm feared up. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I want to have an impression on somebody. Like I'm not just you know what I
A
mean?
regular, right?
A regular
Yeah,
person. Yeah,
you gonna know me for something.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right, right.
Good or bad, my name will be known. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
It's like you're getting a little bit of control in your life. Just even if it's just a little tiny
Yep.
bit, you force someone else to react to you when you were so used to everyone else just completely ignoring you that whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that shit had that psychological effect on me so much that like coming out and shit like that, like a lot of people will view me now. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he's very, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
not standoffish and shit, but the way you get my first impression that I got because of my tattoos or how I carry
yeah,
myself and shit like that,
yeah,
they're like, oh, he's a, you know what I mean, an asshole or a stand, you know what I mean? Watch out for him. But actually, talk to me for 2 minutes. You'll see
yeah,
I'm not that person. You know what I mean? I have
yeah.
a good heart. I have a good soul. I have good intentions
Right,
behind all
right.
this, behind this mask that I built up for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And those are the things like I sacrificed that to begin with, though, because of the impression I wanted to put out in the first place, not to be fucked with. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right, right, right.
I can walk down a lot of the different streets and nobody's gonna be like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like with that low life scum, you know what I mean? The people that like look down on society, I'm part of that. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right, right.
Whenever your parents tell you like, don't go play out with Jimmy because
Mm-hmm.
he's bad news.
Yeah,
I'm Jimmy. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
And
go
I
ahead with you,
yeah, like
bro.
and I
Yeah,
felt like
right.
I was okay with that. I never had like the whole like curfews or you had to do, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was do what you want. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And I struggled with the higher power thing for a long time. You know what I mean? Because I looked at it as a very, very selfish way. Like he doesn't care about, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? This guy. Like, do I do I still have that belief of like there's a guy up there with, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in this physical form? No, that's something I had to do. Like my spirituality. I shouldn't be here today. You know what I
Right,
mean? There's a
right, right,
lot of
right.
people in my shoes that I've done things with that they've done less than me, and
Gone.
and they're gone. They don't get
Yeah.
another chance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm still here doing the same, like I was doing the same things, overdose and overdose and overdose, and then why do I keep coming back? What is my fuck? Why do you know what I mean? Then
Got you
I
there
look
for
at
a
it, yeah.
reason.
Then I look at it like my God's punishing me. Like here, you're not ready to go. Like I still want you to go through some pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not it. I
No.
finally came to that realization, like, bro, you gave me that experience so that I could help out another person. I have
Right.
you know what I mean?
told her that just yo,
Yeah,
bro.
like I have that purpose to actually help someone else out or give them the strength or hope. Like anybody could do this as long as you put in the work. Is it easy? No. You know what I mean? How do people obtain fucking 5 years, 10 years sober? Being consistent with the same decisions. I'm just not picking up. No matter what happens in life, don't put something in you.
Mm-hmm.
You can get through anything in this life. Anything in this world, you can get through without using it.
I like what you said, being consistent.
Yeah.
With that being consistent of being around the right people,
Yep.
being consistent of being honest, knowing our boundaries, where we can go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I like that, bro. Like that was good.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of good things that are gonna come out of this, but with them good things, you're gonna make some sacrifices.
Right.
You know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to be there for my son like I want to. But whenever I am around him, I'm cherishing the best times. And yeah, right now in my current lifestyle, I can't be there as much as I want. But I guarantee you 5 years from now, I'm gonna be there tremendous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whenever I am around him, it's gonna be that much better. You know what I mean? It's gonna mean a lot more because of the sacrifices that I'm making right now.
Today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, or whenever I'm not even just with myself, with all aspects of my life.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
There's things that like I'm gonna have to sacrifice now to have a better outcome in the long run.
Mhm.
And it's hard for me to see that in the long run. Like prior to this though, because I didn't see a long term nothing. You know what I mean? I never thought I'd be there. So I came to the realization, like, listen, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? And I was okay with that. Today, like, I can see a future now. You know what I mean? I can actually start planning like a 401k or working on my credit. I didn't care about credit nothing before. You know what I mean? Because I didn't see myself actually like going forward with it. Today, I can actually see like I have something coming up. I don't know what that is still. You know what I mean? I don't know what my next chapter is going to be, but I know it's going to be better than my last one. I can tell you that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, do I plan on staying in a recovery house for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. No. You know what I mean? I would like to have my own house, my own bills, my own things that I can provide with that for. But whenever that time comes, like I'm still gonna be involved in the rooms with recovery houses, with rehab. You know what I mean? Bro, this is my calling. I feel like these are the things that like I have a purpose in, and I can relate to that shit. These are my people. You know what I mean?
Right.
These are the people that I connect with. You know, some people feel good whenever they go to church.
Yeah.
Some people feel good whenever they go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're say you're a sports fan. You're doing your sports things. You feel involved in that shit. I feel involved with like institutions, jails, recovery. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that like I calm down a little bit and I can be around like the people that I can relate to. You know what I mean? Because that's literally what my life has been. I've been trained. I've like put this shit in my mind. Like I know a lot of the readings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the things. But I'm not the best reader. You know what I mean? My reading isn't the best. But like I memorize some of these things just so that like whenever they do come up, you know what I mean? I'm not stuttering on them. I'm not doing those things because like I get involved in it. You know?
Because we
like,
want it.
Yeah, because I want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you like what they really mean, and that's the stuff that like I had to actually take some time and like realize what I'm reading. What is this really all about? You know what I mean? Because I feel like the 12 steps in like in NA, AA, CA, whatever it is. You know what I mean? They're outlined to like make your life better and realize like what you were doing was wrong. You see what you were doing is wrong. You know what I mean? And how to change it in a positive way. And I feel like that's what this whole recovery and like there's people that aren't in recovery that should be in recovery and not for drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? their morals and how they treat other human beings
Yo.
is fucking wrong.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
Yo.
They do things that are wrong. It's not in our human nature to be evil and
Yeah.
have, you know what I mean? Have
Yeah.
that presence of like money control your lives or have, you know what I mean?
Yo.
Bro, we're loving, caring, passionate fucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are in this world. There's something about you that like makes you feel good to have a significant other, to have joy. And I'm not talking like significant other as in a female or a male. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like if you're a male and it's a female, if it's a female, bro, I have compassion for another man. You know what I
Like
mean?
that love.
Today, today I
Yo.
can honestly say that, and not in like a sexual manner, but as in a
No,
manner
I know
of
what
like,
you mean. No, I
yeah,
mean, I know what you mean, bro.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and in a manner of like, they can count on me. I can count on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are some of the things like I had to put down like that barriers that I have that like everyone's out to get me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Or like no one really cares about. Bro, I got people today that I call family that love me to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're definitely one of them. Brian's
Likewise.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to actually realize that, to get to that realization, like, but someone cares about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and that's where it comes down to now is like I can actually see them things, and I have like that. I don't know. I have something different that's inside of me. But why didn't I? What gets me though is like, why didn't I get this the first couple rehabs I've been in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like the first couple like institutions, or the first couple times whenever it was like it was presented to me, because it was presented to me the same way this time as it was the first time.
Any
The
other
books
time. Right.
never
right.
changed. The rehabs never changed.
Right.
My thinking and my perception this time got a little bit different. The pain that I started experiencing was a little bit different.
Yeah.
I started wanting to do something a little bit different. I don't know if I grew up a little more, because I'm still very childlike. You know what I mean? I still do things that like not a 32-year-old man enjoys. You know what I mean? I love goofing off. I love joking around. I love you know what I mean? I like having the presence in a room as like light and everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
You guys both have worked with me before. You know what I mean? Like most time, like whenever you see somebody that has my physical appearance, isn't gonna be laughing and joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna be that standoffish guy
Yeah.
that like, oh, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not who I am.
Right.
And those are the things like I'm learning now is like, who am I? What is this really about now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
You touched on something a little bit earlier. Like, talk about how your family, how family was sacrificing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually made you want to sacrifice even more.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, we have a negative connotation of sacrifice, except in maybe like a religious kind of like suggestion. But we think sacrifice is always bad. But now we kind of showed there that sacrifice your family is making you do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't want to do, but you should do.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, that's real deep. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. Like, but my family, of course, doesn't want me dead, but they were hurting me a lot more than they were helping me. You know what I mean? Like, I literally had to get to a point where, like, I didn't have no one else. And and that's whenever I became in that cross in the road. You know what I mean? I feel like all of us get to this point in our lives where it's like, we're either going to say fuck it and just end it all, or we're going to try something different. You know what I mean? Because we have no other options.
That cross, right.
Yeah, we have no other options. We're at our bitter ends right
Yeah.
now. This is it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, well, here, this person will help me out. You know what I mean? Because once I get that help, like I remember, oh, well, I got myself out of it again. Listen, I didn't get myself out of this. You know what I mean? My higher power put me in a position to not have nowhere else to go and not be wanted by anybody else, and have like that. Everyone gave up on me to a point where it was like, here's the next phase. You know what I mean? Here's the next thing that's going to be going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? But it takes action too. Like, it's not just like, here, you could put down the drugs, we'll give you a house and everything else like that, and that's it. Listen, this shit takes work.
Right.
You know what I mean? This isn't just given to everybody. If it was, it wouldn't be an addiction. You know what I mean? This takes, and like what I did yesterday for my addiction is not going to keep me sober tomorrow. You know what I mean? I got to do something every day, and that sucks. It sucks. But today, like, I want to I want to live today. I want to try something. You know what I mean?
But
I want to.
can you relate? Not to cut you off. Can you
No.
relate? Like you said, it sucks. But be honest though, more and more that you sacrifice the will of not fighting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it easier, right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, all right, okay. Like, what I mean by like lighten the load a little bit.
Listen, that's what I was saying though. It's not a sacrifice no more now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like a joy of mine. I feel like it's a passion of mine now. You know what I mean? So the things like today that I'm sacrificing isn't like you know what I mean? Like I'm doing it wrong. Like I was saying too with me getting high. But I love getting high. I love everything about it. You know what I mean? I love everything about it. But whenever it comes down to it, I don't like the person that I became once I get high. You know what I mean? So those are some of the things like I realized now was it's not that I lost my train of thought. It's not that I'm sacrificing these things like because of like my family or any like I want to do like this new lifestyle that I'm living today.
Mhm.
Like I found joy out of this. Like I found I found my calling or like I found something else that makes me happy today. I'm not just a lost fucking
Does that
soul
bring
out
you
there.
peace?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, dude. I have so much peace today that like my my people can actually lay down at night and not
Mhm.
worry about me. You know what I mean? My job can know that like he's gonna be there
Can
tomorrow.
count on you.
Yeah, I have accountability with myself today. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Whenever I lay down at night now, I don't feel like that empty thing that was inside of me. Like it's not filled up yet, but it's getting fuller. You know what I mean? And that's what like I find the joy of now. You know?
It's almost
Yeah.
like that piece is almost a different kind of high, like a positive high though, instead of a negative.
Yeah, yeah. And that's like what the benefits of this that I've seen now. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't want to go back to using anymore. And that's whenever I could tell you like whenever I'd be in rehabs or be in places in like a dark spot, I felt that shit inside of me. Like I did not want to use, but I didn't have no other options to go to. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to continuously do what I was doing, but that was the only option I had
Right,
at that
right.
time. Like I knew about this, but I never seen like the actual like power of like me being here today. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like I never
yeah.
seen what this shit really fucking did or like
Right.
me stuck in my own devices in my own head. I get the same results. But whenever I start talking to a couple different people, I see it from different ways now. And they
Mhm.
help me get through like what the actual problem is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not just like I said, it's not just the drugs and alcohol. I got fucked up thinking. You know
Right.
what I
And for
mean?
me, it was a lifestyle, not just like you
Yeah.
said, the drug. You know what I mean? The
Yup.
drugs. It was the drugs was like a portion of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lifestyle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The rush.
Yep.
Just by being out. You know what I mean?
Yep. That fast. And that's yeah. And I can't sit here and tell you guys I hated you know what I mean? I loved everything about it.
Right.
You know what I
right,
mean? I
right.
love that not caring or not, you know what I mean? Like that free shit that you go through whenever you're in active addiction. But I know like today the work that I put in was it's a lot less work because getting high is a lot of fucking work.
Yeah,
If a lot of people don't really realize what goes into like getting high every day.
Full-time job,
Yeah.
overtime,
Bruh.
all at once, right?
Yeah. You think about it, you know what I mean? Like $300-400 addiction every day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's an everyday thing with no job. Now you don't
Right.
have no job. You
Right.
don't have a 9 to 5 to go to. Your job is getting high. Now try to go make that money and think of everything. Bro, we're some smart ass people if you think about it. You know what I mean? To actually come up with these ways and these schemes to keep doing it and that manipulation that you have to keep doing every day and them sacrifices
make
that
it
we're
happen.
talking about. Yeah, to make that shit happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mind doesn't change like that. I still have all them same tendencies, but I put it in like a little bit of a positive more way today. You know what I mean? Like I put it in like instead of like going and getting high, like I still manipulate things to like try to better like myself, try to obtain more materialistic things, try to like play around with my addiction in areas that like sometimes are healthy. You know what I mean? Because like that shit doesn't leave one like I'm an addict through and through. You know what I mean? If I want something, I get it. I obtain it. You know what I mean? Like nothing in this world will stop me from like, oh no, you're not gonna get. listen, I'm gonna do it. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
And like today, that's what I'm fighting for. It's like, you know what my addiction is? Staying fucking sober. My
Yeah.
addiction today is like helping out the next person that's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
My addiction today is like work, um, materialistic items. You know what I mean? Shoes and clothes, and you know what I mean? Like things that like they meant something to me before, but this is my addiction today, and I'll
Right.
take that. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because if you, I know you can relate times that we didn't keep ourselves up the par. You know what I mean? Living that moment. I take pride in keeping myself up
Yep.
to date. You know what I mean? And bro, I agree with you because it's not all so bad. What's wrong with keeping yourself up? If you know
No.
what I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's been times that family probably when they didn't want me to show up when they was having something.
Yep.
Like, oh shit, like you know what I mean?
Yep.
But
And
no,
whenever you would, you were just a burden, or you're there for.
yeah, bro, that shit hurt, bro.
There's a lot of times though, like my family was happy to see me, but there was always an ulterior motive to everything I did. I never showed up to a place because like other people wanted me there. I showed up because I knew I could get something off someone else. Like everything came with a price with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything came with like I was taking from somebody or something in some way. If I'd show up to this place. The only reason I'm going there is because I need a ride.
Right,
I'd show up to this because I haven't eaten yet today and I'm hungry and I know
Right,
they
right.
have food and they'll feed me. You know what I mean? And that becomes like that animalistic living, like I was talking about before. Like I would do anything to maintain. Like that's all I did in life. That's all I've ever done
Right.
was maintained. I never got ahead. I become stagnant in a place where it's like once I become comfortable, I sit back. I'll ride the wave. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I
Would
mean?
you call it living for the moment? Moment
Yeah.
living?
Yeah, and that's what I've always been. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And but now it's like I'm starting to see that. So now I'm starting to actually like plan for something different.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
But it comes back to it. It takes sacrifice.
But,
You know what I mean? You don't become a millionaire overnight, or you don't become like say you get an apartment, right? What do you start off in that apartment with? Maybe a couple dishes,
Right.
maybe a couch, and that's it. But stay in that apartment for a year. Stay consistent in that apartment for a year,
You
and look at all the stuff that you just
Yeah.
accumulated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's a sacrifice that it comes along with it. You don't just move into a place with everything.
Everything, no. You might
Nah.
just have just the bed, just the sleeping right,
Yep.
you know, the beginning.
But
you know what I mean?
you've sacrificed though going
Right.
into there.
Right,
You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
Because you don't have the microwave. You don't
No,
have all
right.
this other stuff. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Those are but at the end of it, there's a goal there, and that's why I'm looking at my recovery right now. It's like at the end, there's a goal here. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
There's a bigger thing. I'm not saying there's a finish line, but there's a goal that's out of this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's a race that we're always gonna be in.
We in it for the
You know,
rest of our
yeah.
life.
But listen, I'm slow and steady right now. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
right.
not gonna stop. I don't plan on stopping. I can't, like I said from the beginning, though, man. I can't tell you I'm gonna stay sober for the rest of my life. I can't. I will never say that no more because I've said that a thousand different ways and a thousand different times, and I've really meant that shit inside my stomach. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you one thing. Tonight, it's getting pretty late. I didn't use today. I made it through today.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Tomorrow's looking pretty good too because I have a plan tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I
right,
mean?
Right.
And those are the things that I have to do to actually like progress in this. I don't
Yeah.
have to stay sober forever. I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just got to make it through today. You know?
Get through that. Like you
Yup.
said, don't put too much on yourself. 24, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yo, bro. And it was something you said, like that feeling. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, does it feel good? You have sponsees, and even when you back, you know, doing your commitment, does it feel, you know, good? Tell me the feeling you get. Can you describe the feeling you get when someone come up and say, "Thank you, Kenny,
Yeah.
from helping me"? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's my high. You know what I mean? That's why I do this stuff. Whenever someone's struggling and someone's ready to give up, you know what I mean? And I can actually like guide them in a good direction. You know what I mean? I do things without even noticing it now. I do things without even like getting that recognition. And I don't need to get recognized every time I do something to them. You know what I mean? I help out a lot of people in a lot of different areas. If it is a pack of cigarettes, if it is, you know what I mean? Here's
Right,
this.
right.
Or like just sitting down and talking to someone. You know what I
But
mean?
we know how a pack of cigarettes, see, to another person on the other side of the fence, they wouldn't understand the you know what I mean, the significance, the major part of a pack of cigarettes when
Yeah.
someone coming through, because
Yeah.
you in your head, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You in your head, like,
And I have that feeling because I've been there before. I have that feeling like, yo, someone cares about me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I ain't alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone did it for me, so I want to do it for someone else. And that's what they talk about too in the rooms is like being an NA or an AA thief. Can you relate to this?
Yeah.
Whenever you know what I mean, you get through the steps in that, you get the benefits of this program, and you take it to yourself. Now you go out and you live your own life. You're living in your apartment with your family, and you're doing all that stuff by yourself, right? You don't have to worry about recovery or anything else like that. Bro, that's not what if that was the case, we wouldn't be here today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If everybody did that, who would be there for?
Exactly.
Yo.
I don't want to do that. You know what I
Yo.
mean? I'm willing to not sacrifice. I'll give you some of my time to continue this journey so the next generation can have someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And give it to them in the same way it was given to me. Because I don't have all the answers. I'm not this like NAAA guru type of, you know what I mean? I practice the principles just as they're laid out in our step work. You know what I mean?
Right.
I give my sponsees, I'm not a I suck at money. You know what I mean? Relationships, I'm not the greatest either. You know what I mean? Like life decisions, I suck. You know what I mean? I'm not this type of guy that's like, oh, well, here I have all the answers. Bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? My sponsees, I can give you suggestions. And if I don't have a good suggestion, I'm running it by a couple people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whenever it comes down to, I have a step study guide that I read off with my sponsees. You know what I mean? I don't have these like this like outer thing with myself. I'm not great. You know what I mean? I'm not different than the next Joe Smo out here. I'm just trying to make it just like they are, day to day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're in the same, you know what I mean?
We in the same fucking boat.
Right,
the only
bro.
thing is I said I fought off my demon a couple extra times. That's it. That's the only thing that's different from me and you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I actually get some benefits of like being able to, I've been through that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've had them struggles. I know what you're going through right now, and this is how I got through it. You know?
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. Whenever it comes down to it, like those are the benefits that I receive out of this. So whenever I can help someone else out, bro, that shit touches me in a different way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whenever I can go, whenever I'm in them rehabs and I see that person that's like, damn, you know what I mean? How'd I do this again? Bro, listen, I can relate to that. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying before is like, whenever I would go in there and I could hear about like the speaker talking about how they got 10 years playing, I can't relate to that. You know what I mean? Because I thought I was different than what they had. You know what I mean? Or like, how did you obtain 10 years? Or how did you do them things? Or like, I felt like my addiction was a little bit worse because whenever I'm not downplaying it, people talk about alcohol. I'm a dope fiend. You know what I mean? The way you're drinking and the way I'm getting high, we're not on the same playing field. Yes, it is now. I think, you know what I mean? Because alcohol is a drug and it's going to take me to them same exact things and it's more accessible than, yeah, the same place. We all get the same outcomes. But in my mind, I didn't think about that. And I couldn't relate to you with 10 years. I can barely get 2 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'd be in rehab after rehab after rehab, listening to these guys, and I'm like, bro, I can't relate to you. You know what I mean? I can't relate to the things you're like. How did you end up doing it? Oh, you just listened to, did these step works and went to meetings, and how is that helping? You know what I mean? Like that, I've done that shit before. I've read it in the book. It's not for me. That's not how I'm gonna stay clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of it, the things that I wasn't catching on to was the service work that they put in.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? The benefits that feeling that they get whenever they do show up.
Right.
And what did they do from day one that they're still doing today? They're staying consistent with things. They're still showing up.
Yeah.
They're still going to the rehabs. They're still having sponsees. They're still involved. Now, there's two differences here, too, about being around NA or AA and being in NA and AA. I've been around NA and AA pretty much my whole life. I never was in it. You know what I mean? I never really like worked the steps and got involved in a lot of the commitments and
I can relate to
services.
that. I've been to meetings, but I never got in. I never, you know what I mean? I never got to now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, me too. And that's what I feel like this time here. It's like I'm involved. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I didn't do like just like here. Let me just check this out, bro. I dove head in.
Right,
on
we're
this.
in the battlefield.
Yeah.
We here.
I'm
right,
front lining
right,
it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like we'll figure this out. You know, because I don't have all the answers and you don't have all the answers.
Right.
But we put our answers together, bro. we're passing
make
this
it
test.
happen,
Yeah,
right.
we'll at least get a C.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
C's passing. We're at least getting through that.
Right.
And that's what I've learned today. And if we don't have it, there's someone else out there that does. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how this whole program works. Is like, I'm not going through it alone. You're not going through it alone. You know what I mean? And there's a billion other people that aren't going through it alone.
I like what you said. If we don't have it, we'll go ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say today, I sacrifice that pride. Go ask for help. You know what I mean? I put that pride to the side, like, yo, because it's going to hold me back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't get nowhere.
Nope.
You know? Ask for help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, bro, like, this definitely was a crazy segment right here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, we touched on so much, like, you know what I mean? On that, with that sacrifice thing. And I want to, like, before we end it, because I'm looking to have you back, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something. You tell me, would you agree real quick? It's gonna be like another topic for the next time we meet. When you say, like, all right, times when you was brought back, and I can relate the same thing. Would you say that was a spiritual awakening? When you know what I mean? When higher power brought you back, and you said certain people did less, and they didn't make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you call that a spiritual awakening?
That's so. I don't know if it was a spiritual awakening or if it was like a spiritual like guidance.
God, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Now I'm not sure because I know something brought me back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Did I learn my lesson? Did I have that like aha moment?
Yeah.
No, man. Whenever I come back from an overdose, I'm pissed. Because now I'm fucking instant withdrawal because they hit me with Narcan. You know what I mean? And like, damn, it happened again. Is this going on foul? My mind's racing. So no, it's not I wouldn't consider it in that moment. Like, yes, there was a spirit that brought me back, or I'm very
No, not in the
grateful.
moment, but as sitting back when you now,
looking
as
back
you
at
can
it
look
now.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like those are definitely spirit. Like, what did you call it?
Like a spiritual awakening. Like, all right, okay. And then, like you said, spirit. You know, I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
would say that. Yeah, I would definitely say that because now I can look back on it and like that was some traumatizing shit that happened in my life.
yo.
But in that moment, I didn't look at it like that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
But today, I'm very grateful that it did happen because I have that experience to like help out someone else or like, you know what I mean. There's a lot of people that like, if you want to tell me you're an addict or this or that, like, bro, my arms are bad. I got some pretty bad, you know what I mean, battle scars of this situation. I live with that.
Right,
yeah.
yo.
I live with those overdoses. I live with the things that I've done prior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So today, like, those are all my like spiritual awakenings of like this program. All of that stuff equaled into what I am today.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Made you.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be the person I guess I am today if it wasn't for them struggles or those like things that I've already witnessed or been through. You know what I mean?
Who you with? Yo,
Yeah.
I like that, bro.
So yeah, man, I'm definitely grateful you guys had me out today. You know what I mean?
Man.
If anything, like,
it was a pleasure, bro.
Yeah.
And you came on here and you performed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You showed up and I love what you touched on. And I'm quite sure. Yeah, Kenny, for real, bro. I'm looking to have you back again, bro, because that's gonna be another. You know, we're gonna get into that if you don't mind coming back on that. That what you call it? I said spiritual awakening, and you said what you say?
Like a spiritual guidance.
Right. We gonna touch on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Last thing for the people though, you know what I mean? If nobody told you they love you today, I love you, man. I'm very proud of everyone that's trying this.
Hey.
Alrighty, guys.
All right, love you, bro. Thank you.
Love you, Woody.
Love you too, Woody.